Hi there, welcome back to the channel. So I feel like I need to take a break from our regularly scheduled programming of mixing, mastering, recording on the Zoom, so I can take a moment to acknowledge the passing of my dear friend and mentor, Bruce Glover. Bruce Glover was an actor. He appeared in over, 60 plus TV and film credits. Movies like Chinatown, directed by Roman Polanski, starring Jack Nicholson, Faye Dunaway, John Huston. Diamonds Are Forever, directed by Guy Hamilton in all its anamorphic glory, with Sean Connery as James Bond, Jill St. John, Putter from Miles Davis's band, Mr. Went, Mr. Kidd. Bless the Beasts and Children, directed by Stanley Kramer, Hard Times with James Coburn, Walter Hill film. The Walking Tall series, he's especially proud of that first Walking Tall film. More recently, he was in Ghost World. That was written by Dan Close, has Scarlett Johansson in it, Thora Birch. It Is Fine, Everything Is Fine, written and directed by his son, Crispin Glover. And those were executive produced by David Lynch. It's incredible stuff. And he was an incredible writer and actor and director, creative genius. And I just wanted to take a moment to talk about how I met him and how he came into our lives and how he's changed my life for the better. So when it was I guess it was 1988, and I was a theater major, and I decided, I think I'm going to be a film actor. That's what I want to do. And so I went out to Los Angeles, and Van Nuys specifically, the Valley. It was like $800 a month. And after I'm out there a while, people tell me, you probably need to get an acting instructor, somebody kind of show you how to do this and help you get auditions, for commercials or whatever, because that's mainly what you're going to be trying to go for. I was like, okay, I need some kind of instruction. I need a teacher. So I'm thumbing through Dramalog, which is like the little industry rag out there that tells people about auditions and has ads for all the acting instructors. So I'm looking at all of them, and none of them are particularly appealing. But then I see this one. It was like the size of a business card. It says Bruce Glover, actor Bruce Glover, has Walking Tall, Chinatown. That caught my eye. So a little video store up the street in Van Nuys that I used to go and rent films like Chinatown, Diamonds Are Forever. And so I'm like, wow, this is Bruce Glover. He's a real actor, and it says in the now. I'm like, what is in the now? It intrigued me. So I was like, I think I want to call this number. So I steal up, some courage, pick up the phone, punch it up. He's 213, I'm 818. He was a West Side snob. There was no place to live in LA except the West Side. So I'm calling him. Phone rings a couple times, and then I hear him. Hey, this is Bruce. And so I'm nervously asking him, I'm like, hey, I want to take your acting class. And he's kind of pitching the class and telling me about this technique he has, this in the now. His credits, he tells me that his son is Crispin Glover. And I found that exciting because I had seen him in some TV stuff, like TV movies, and he always stood out with some extra energy. And then I saw Back to the Future, and I thought he was brilliant in that. And then River's Edge, which to me was like a game changer. It was shock of the new. So I already, I thought he was amazing. So I was like, wow, this is something else. And so he said, look, kid, my studio is at my house. It's a home studio, so you're going to come to my house. But before you do, we're going to take a private lesson, and then you can take the lessons with the class. But before you come, I want you to do this little visualization exercise. I was like, wow, is this what these major actors do? These visualization exercises? I want you to go to a beach or a park, kid. And if you go to the beach, I want you to hear the waves break. I want you to hear the sound of the birds. I want you to feel the wind on your skin. I want you to smell the air, the salt in the air. Feel it, see it, hear it. Take it all in. Now I want you to go home to your apartment, maybe a dark space, and get into a meditative state. And I want you to recount everything you saw and relive it and see it in your head like it's a motion picture. And I was like, wow, this is incredible. And it works. I can see it. I can feel it. I can smell it. I can hear the waves break. I could hear the birds flap their wings and making their sounds. I could smell the salt in the air and feel the moisture on my skin. Wow, this is heavy. So I drive all the way from Van Nuys all the way to the west side, knock on his door. And if I was going to use that same visualization technique right now, I can visualize it. I can see it. I can see the door. He's opened it. Hey, kid, come on in. He's busy. He's already gone. He's whirled away. I smell the smells. I remember it has wood floors and sort of smells like the house I live in now. And I look around the room, antique furniture, a rug, all this incredible artwork on the wall. I'm like, what? Wow, these paintings. Because not only is he an actor and a teacher and a director, writer type person, he's also a painter, a real artist. He even appears in a book. It's called Actors as Artists. And he's not like a movie star painter. This guy's for real, the real deal. This is real artwork. It's fine art. I'm trying to take all this in. And there were some sliding glass doors over here, and over here an old TV set. It's 1988. Showtime Lakers are on, real low. I'm like, why he's into sports? He was heavy into soccer, always lifting weights, super strong, powerful guy. Like, wow, so you can be an artist, an actor, and be into sports too. Okay, I'm just taking all this in. These papers are strewn all over the place, these scripts, or what they call sides. Pieces of the script, you know. And he's accumulated these from auditions and from films he's been in. And we're going to read from them, real scripts, real stuff. And he's like, okay, kid, you're going to read this. I'm going to give you 10 minutes. And then we're going to do this scene together. We're going to act this scene together. And I was like, oh, God. I broke out into a cold sweat. Bruce, can I use your bathroom? Sure, kid, cost you $0.25. He always said that. I go to the bathroom, splash some water on my face, trying to steel myself. Get some courage, and I go back out. I've got the pages, but the words I can hardly take them in. He's all right, kid. You read your lines. The first line. You be that character. So I take the script just like I always did, you know, because I thought it was pretty good. I was an actor in college, and that's why I came out here. I was wanting to be a film actor. I thought it was pretty good. But in that moment, I suddenly realized, like right when I'm starting to read the lines, I'm like, man, my acting is built on copying other people. Or it's fake. And he's like, kid, what? Don't hero worship. You don't have to be a fan. Be a fan of yourself. That's the kind of empowering things he gave me. You don't have to care about any of these people. Care about yourself. Get into you. Get inside of you. So I'm looking at the page. Nothing I've ever done is going to work at this point. I'm looking at it. So I start reading. I'm sorry. I just ran out to the car to get my bag and... Hey, kid, stop. You're going to have to look up. I can't even see you. The camera can't see you. The casting director, they're not going to be able to see you. This is your audition. Take your time, kid. Let them see your face. And when you're acting... You're going to speak and I'm going to listen, and then I'm going to speak and you're going to listen, and we're going to interact. It's called In the Now. Because the only other thing I'd ever really learned, I'd read some Stanislavski, but I was too young to understand it, really. And the only other thing I really learned was this emotional recall thing. And that's where, like, if you're supposed to be sad in a scene or create an emotion, and maybe your dog died, you're going to try to visualize that and recreate it in your head, kind of like the movie at the beach. And you're going to try to get that, to conjure that up, maybe so you can, you know, get some tears to come out. Well, instead, Bruce is like, listen, the writing is good. These writers are good. Most of it is right here. You just got to say the words. You got to understand the writer's intent. You're going to have to say the words. You're going to look at the other person that you're working with. You're going to listen to what they say, and you're going to react, just like you would in real life. It doesn't mean you're doing naturalistic acting. It just means you're reacting and you're listening. You're not in a headspace, like you're not off somewhere trying to visualize something. You're here right now and you're listening. And now you haven't made a choice. You haven't come into it making a choice. I'm going to cry. You might start laughing now. You might go into a rage. Who knows? But it's going to have some extra energy and it's going to be real. Or at least it's going to be It's going to be coming from inside. You're not going to make a decision. You're not going to be in your own head. You're not going to leave this other person out to dry. You're going to interact with them. It was incredible. So he's like, what I want you to do now, kid, you're not going to have your head in the page. You're going to read the lines. You're going to take them in. You're going to take your time. This is your time. And you're going to look at me and we're going to talk. Just talk to me. Look up at me and talk to me. Right now, talk. Just talk. Just converse. I'm sorry. I'm sorry, I just ran out to the car to get my bag. I'm not saying that's a good line reading at all. I'm just saying that's what he wanted us to do. That was the beginning of the work. And that's when I realized how hard this was going to be, how hard this really is to be one of these great actors. It's hard work. It takes dedication. He had another exercise that he was always making us do that I just found almost impossible. I mean, because whenever we were doing this stuff, it's like he was holding a magnifying lens and he had the bright sun shining through it. And I'm like an ant on the sidewalk and I'm just getting incinerated. Because nothing fake is going to work. All right, kid, I want you to audition for a commercial, all right? So you're going to look at the camera, we're going to slate, you're going to say your name, who you are, and then I want you to reach over to this glass of orange juice, take a sip out of it and say, that's juicy. Like, what? How? I want you to feel the glass, see the glass, take a sip of it, and I want you to say, that's juicy. All right, here we go. I'm reaching for the glass. It's cold in my hand. It's heavy. I don't want to spill it. I bring it over. I'm going to take it to my mouth, and I'm going to take a sip. I'm going to taste it and feel it go down. Set it back down without spilling. Look at the camera. Deliver your line. That's juicy. It's impossible. I could never figure out how to do that. That's juicy. I always sounded like an idiot doing it. So I drive home that night. I'm like, wow, this is hard. This is not acting as a soft job. This is a difficult art. So I start going to the class and it's going great and it doesn't even cost that much, but I'm so freaking broke. I'm like, Bruce, I don't think I can do this anymore. I don't have enough money. It's like, that's okay, kid. I hate money anyway. I don't like changing hands with money. Let's trade. You can remove the paint on my porch. You can polish Betty's silver. And Betty was his incredible wife. She was a dancer. She had 2 dance on her car. It's like on her license plate. And she was a Broadway dancer. She was in Oklahoma. And she was accepted into the Ballet Russe, which is like nearly impossible. It's incredible. Unbelievable family. These incredibly accomplished people. And I got to know her. And they took me in. And they did this for so many people, so many LA strays, kids that were, like me. I was 20 years old. I'm 56 now. It was incredible. I would do the work, get to do the class, and the class was everything, and it was intense. I mean, it was heavy. We'd be in there, doing these scenes and getting really heavy. And it was like making a film. It was really intense. But I began to be disillusioned, with Hollywood and trying to do that as an actor, and just getting bored with trying to, get parts and all that kind of stuff. And I was gravitating back heavily towards music. And he just starts encouraging me. He's like, kid, just make your music, make your own music. You want to make a film, make your own film. Do it yourself. Own it yourself. Don't wait for anybody. Just do it. And he loved music too. He could sing. He wanted to front a band. When he was 70 plus, he wanted to front a band. We were actually going to do a music project together. We've been talking about it for about a year. And I'd written the music and everything and was going to do it on the Zoom. And he called me one day singing on my answering machine. And then when the elderly decline kicked in, we never got it off the ground. Man, I wish I could have done that. So I go back to Georgia and I get to be in a band and I get to go on tour all over the place and make records with amazing people, have this incredible experience, and that sort of parlays into me making a film. I made my own film with my wife, Mary, and I got to join the Directors Guild. We both got to join the Directors Guild of America, the DGA. And I was like super proud and excited. And I wanted to tell Bruce, so I head back out to California because we're trying to find a distributor. And we'd already been to New York to IFP, and the big dogs had passed already: Miramax, Paramount, those types of people, 20th Century Fox. And so I'm like, wow, what am I going to do? So we get to LA. I reconnect with Bruce. I wrote him a letter. We go out to dinner. It's my wife, me, Bruce, Betty. Incredible. We had this incredible time together. They would take us to these Eastern European, they were like in houses, these restaurants, and eat this food I'd never had before and hear these stories. And Bruce was heavily involved in the foreign film selection of the Academy. And he and Betty were heavily involved in this, and it was really important. And that's how I got into foreign films, is because of Bruce. I didn't even really understand that side of filmmaking. I passed that on to my son. So his influence just continues to reverberate and ripple. So I'm like, Bruce, I don't know what I'm going to do. And we're in class one day, and he's like, well, this is Cassandra. She was in, what were you in, Cassandra? And she was in Conan the Barbarian with Arnold Schwarzenegger. And when they were talking about John Milius, the director, just telling cool stories. And she works for a distributor's kid. She finds, finds movies their homes. So maybe she can help you. So I run out to the car, get the VHS tape, press package, hand it to her, and it works. It happens. And she does it. This is Cassandra. She was in the movie. Arnold Schwarzenegger's like traveling around, and he thinks he's going to have this like sexual encounter with her. She's this beautiful woman. Turns out she's a witch, and he just like tosses her into the fire. She finds a distributor for the film. I can't believe it. So he gets me that as well. He gets me everything. He's doing all this stuff for me, taking us in, treating us with respect, showing us things that we would have never seen. Incredible friendship. I remember after we got the deal done and everything was, we were so excited, we all decided to go out to dinner together. And we go to Venice. This restaurant is a really nice place. I think it was owned by Wolfgang Puck. It was his new place. I forgot the name of it. And so we're eating and just laughing and stuff. And Bruce is always so funny. He always wore the same suit. I think he got it from a movie set. And all of a sudden Betty goes, you know what? My son's in a Playboy magazine, Who's Who. I want to go find it. Yeah, I saw a newsstand down there. So we're like, okay, hop up from the table, run down the street. She's looking all over. Hey, where's Playboy? And the guy's like, oh, right over there. She grabs the magazine. She's looking through it. Hey, look, here's my son. Showing everyone. So proud, so excited. Bruce is laughing. Bruce is super excited and proud about this magazine and their son being in it. They're so proud of their son. It's incredible. These amazing, nights together. Go back to their place, root beer floats, playing hearts. Bruce used to always say diddly damn. Going to antique auctions with Betty. She taught me about how to do that, how to go and get the furniture, and we got stuff really cheap. She had incredible taste. So when Mary got pregnant, we were all excited, and we showed them the ultrasound, and I said, look, you're going to be grandparents. Because I thought we were pretty tight and everything, and their faces drop. They were too hip for kids. So I thought, we weren't going to get to hang out with them anymore. But instead, they said, hey, come on, bring your baby over here, bring your kid over here, and we'll just eat at the house. And so I started cooking for them. And we had an amazing time doing that, and Mick was crawling around on Betty's beautiful rug, and she had this little Christmas display out because it was around the holidays, and she had all these silver eggs, that made like a chiming sound, and he kept playing with them, and he was like putting it in his mouth. I was like, Mick, don't. And she goes, oh, it doesn't matter, I don't care. Here, you can have this. And so she gives it to him. And when she died, the first thing I thought of was this egg, and I raced to find it because I thought I knew where it was, and thank God it was there. And during this time period, because we had made our film, we put so much effort into it. We shot it on film, Super 16 on an Airflex, edited it on Steenbeck. We just, she was a better cutter than I was, better editor. And we just worked so hard on it, it was become our lives. And she gets pregnant, and it changes everything. And our son ends up having this unbelievably terrible condition. It was like a series of congenital defects called bacterial association he was born with. And it ended up being fine. He had a series of surgeries. But at that time, we were just stunned. And and then right before our child is born, Nick, my wife's sister Karen, is killed in a fire. The house burns down. And we're just reeling. And we go to them, and they're talking to us and helping us, and we just don't know what to think. And Bruce says, "Kid, embrace the disaster as a gift. Embrace the disaster as a gift." I didn't understand what you're saying. I didn't know if Mary understood. We were just looking at each other. And now that I'm, 56 years old, that was however long ago, my son, he just turned 23 yesterday. My second son, Kier, he's just turned 21. My daughter, Elle, he was going to help her. She was interested in acting. My daughter, Cher, as well, musical, dancing. He was going to help all of them. He already has. Embrace the disaster as a gift. It makes so much sense to me now, and I know what to do with that. And we tell everyone, Mary and I tell everyone, embrace the disaster as a gift. Something good will come out of it. There's another side to it. There's a silver lining. There's something. It's a catalyst. You'll pivot and you'll change and you'll learn and you'll grow. And better than that, when you embrace a disaster as a gift, you're not going to be able to help other people. It's not going to just be, the focus is not going to be on you. Because at one point I told him, Bruce, I'm shy. I don't know if I can do this. He's like, you're not shy, kid. When you're shy, you're up here and you're just looking down at yourself and you're focused on you. Send the energy out. Embrace the disaster as a gift. Send it out. Connect to others. Connect with others. Help others. That's what's going to give you satisfaction. That's what's going to give you fulfillment. That's what's going to make you a better artist. I just remembered he loved Lon Chaney. He was a very physical guy. He loved Lon Chaney. And there's a performance in the movie Popcorn where I really feel like he got that. He got that physicality. He's supposed to be electrocuted in an electric chair. And he's just electrified. And his hair's up here and he's out to here. And he's just so alive with physicality. He was such a physical guy. Mary and I, after Betty dies, we go back out to Los Angeles to be with him and spend some time with him. Thank God we did that. And this is about 5 years ago. And he's like, kid, I'm going to take you to the academy. And he loved the academy. And like I said, he would choose the foreign films for the academy at a major position. And I couldn't understand why he was so into the academy until I got there. It's like it felt like almost like going to church. Can't describe it, but I understood as soon as I got there with him. We were out in the parking lot. We're actually in the street. It's on Wilshire. I got out of the car, and I turned around, and he hadn't gotten out yet. He was looking stiff, and he had me drive, which I couldn't believe. And I was going to reach down and help him, but I didn't want to humiliate him, because he was so strong. He's always lifting weights, cutting trees down, fighting people. He's a tough guy, a loud guy. Big guy, strong guy. A movie star. And I'm looking down at him, and I was like, should I help him? I didn't. He looked at me for a second, and I knew right away, don't do it. And he got to his feet. And he just took off running right across Wilshire because his car's coming. He's like, go, let's go, kid, come on. Right across the street. We go into the academy and watch this film. He got us into this amazing screening. Lois Smith from East of Eden was in it. She's was in a movie with James Dean. She was the barmaid in East of Eden. I'm like, Bruce, did you see who that was? That's Lois Smith. She was in East of Eden with James Dean. She's old now, kid. No hero worship. No need to be a fan. Be a fan of yourself. Get your head out of thinking about other people. Make yourself great. Embrace the disaster as a gift. I just want him to be remembered, and not just for being a great actor, but for the teaching and the breakthrough, because he made a creative breakthrough, an artistic breakthrough. That was a genius move. And I know some of it's based on other teachers and stuff that he accumulated over the years. Stanislavski, maybe Stella Adler, Uta Hagen, I'm not sure. But it was his. It was in the now. We love you, Brucey baby. Mary and I love you. You and Bruce and Betty.